Welcome to Sirantwi Education channel. I believe you can hear me, everyone. Today we are going to take a look at Microsoft Word. Specifically, we will focus on Term 1, Microsoft Word content. Now, if you can hear me and see my screen, may you please indicate in the comment section before I start. All right. Thank you very much, Rumofiwe. Now, before we start solving the questions, let's take a look at the Microsoft Word content for Term 1. I will take you through, first of all, the ATP. Now, if we look at grade 12 ATP, according to the ATP, the first Microsoft Word topic that we need to consider or take a look at, that will be week 2. And then if you look at week 2, it says reinforce content, concept, and skills from grade 10 and 11. In other words, activities should include grade 10 and 11 knowledge and skills. So first of all the Microsoft Word that was done in grade 11 and then grade 10 must be revised. So meaning that your topics or these terms, practical questions can also include grade 11 and grade 10 content. Then again, links that bookmark, hyperlink, cross-reference, then also review, that is proofing, comment, track changes, and then if you go also to week, that is week 7, we also have line breaks, that's the paging issues, like widow and orphan and keep lines to next. Then lastly, for Microsoft Word for this term will be forms, that's gather information and data collected and import data via electronic forms for information management. So basically, Microsoft Word, we will only be looking at the links, the page line breaks, and also grade 11 content. So I have compiled this topics or these topics. Now, grade 11 content and grade 10, file management, page setup, find and replace, links, image and graphics, cover pages, watermark and background colors, document layout, that is the basic layout formatting, header and footer, section break, page numbers, odd and even, proofing, track changes, columns, and then multi-level list, tables, and the line break. So all these are supposed to be covered by grade 12. So meaning any of these topics, you must expect questions from that. Then including indent, drop cap, developer forms, styles, and then also text stop. Then we also have footnote and endnote citation, index, and then mailings. But then also term 2, they talk about mailings, but remember grade 11, you did mail merge also. So basically, almost all the topics for Microsoft Word should be covered in term 1. So most of the practical questions that you're going to get, majority of the marks will be from Microsoft Word. Now, without wasting much time, let's go straight to the activities or questions, then we solve them one after each other. I'm going to pick at least 2 or 3 questions per each topic. And if you have any question, please don't forget to add it in the comment section. I'll read it and then respond to everybody's question. Right. So this document, I just shared it, and then you also get it together. The files also, you get them. Now for the week one, like the links and the reinforcing the content from grade 10 and 11, these are the things that you should know. For grade 10 and 11, they talk about input data from different file formats, editing page special, integration with spreadsheet, and then find and replace. So I'm going to pick 2 or 3 activities for each. Regarding file management, I'm going to open to history. So you join me. So to history or to history 2. Uh, let me copy it once again. It seems my data files are going to give me problem. Just a minute. I have to get my data files. So those of you who are also struggling, when you go to the drive that I shared with you, you are going to find the practical activities for grade 12, Microsoft Word. So you can download it. This is also spreadsheet. And then also I have HTML and then database. So you can download them also. Right. So to history 2. Right. I have them here. Okay. Now the first question, it says insert the file path of the document into the header and then find the placeholder below the heading. What are the Winter Olympics? So these are the two history 2. You can also join me and then have access to the file. I just want to have a copy of the file. Now, it says must insert the file path. How do you insert the file path in the header? You double click on the header section. Now remember the header section is this part on top here. You double click. Now when you double click, it's going to open header and footer section for you. What are the things that you can insert there? You can insert header by typing the text. We can also insert footer. We can also insert page numbers. You can insert date and time. And then the document information, like the author name, the file name, the file path, the document title. You can also insert other properties that are not here. You can click on it and then insert it. Now, again, other properties like the published date and then the keyword, you can insert them. Then sometimes they can ask you to also insert maybe the number of words and others, you go to field. So here, this question says we have to insert the file path. So you go there and then you click on the file path. So this is how we insert file path. Right. The second question says, find a placeholder below the heading, what are the Winter Olympics? And then insert the text found in the to extract document. We have to insert the text found from this document in the data file into the document. Ensure that the font type matches the previous paragraphs. Right. So here we need to add a content from another file into this document. So we need to just go and then locate that placeholder. They said the placeholder is below what are the Winter Olympics. So let me just find the Winter Olympics. Okay, it's not there, but then I can insert it anywhere. Let's say I'm going to insert it at the bottom of the page. Now, we are going to insert the content of to extract over here. So these are my Word documents. So to insert the content, you go to insert and then you choose object, then you find text from file. So insert object text from file. Now you go and find out the text from that particular file. All right, so this is the data file. And then remember the question says two extra documents in the data file. So we have to go and look for two extract documents. It's better you choose all files. If you are not sure, you choose all files so that it will indicate all the files. And then we search for it here, to extract. There we go. Right, now we have inserted the content. So we use object text from file. Then the question says it should be the same as the other text. So this is the text that we have here. And then you can choose format painter so that it will be the same as the other text. Then you come and put a brush around this paragraph so that the text will be the same as the other content. Right. So that's how we insert the content from other file. Again, sometimes they can ask you to insert it as an object. Let's say we were supposed to insert this as an object. We were supposed to insert to extract as an object. So you go and look for to extract. You drag it. And then you go and then drop it where the content is supposed to be. Then it's going to be as an icon, like you see here. So if I double click on this, it's going to open the file for me. So this is another way of inserting as an object or as icon. So instead of you to go through the long process like this, insert object, then you pick the object, create from file, then you browse. and then you look for to extract. Then you take display as an icon and then linking to file. So you see these two are all linked to the file that to open. So the shortcut is just do drag and drop. You just go and look for the file, you drag it, and then you drop. If it's to climate, you drag it, and then you drop it. So that it will be there as an icon. That is the shortest way of answering such type of questions. Right. Let's move on to the next question. To echo, it said insert the to climate document in the text box to display as an icon, just like what I just displayed here. To echo. So when you open to echo, and then we want to put the content here as an icon. So like I said, you can do drag and drop. And then it will be there. Or the longest method, you have to go through the longest method and say insert object, and then object, then you go to create from file. That is a long way. So just know, practice the drop and drop, drag and drop, and then to be there as an icon. Right. Now let's go to the next question. 2M shows insert a field to insert, or use a field to insert a number of words in the document to the right of the text number of words. So 2M shows also as a field. 2M shows so if you go to the bottom of the page, here, over here, there's a number of words. Now the question says we need to insert a field to display the number of words. So there you go to insert, quick paths. Anytime you are inserting the field, you go to insert, quick paths, and then you choose field. Alternatively, you can achieve that. You can achieve that by going to search, and then you type field. So it's going to give you field or quick path, and then you go to field, or sometimes you say document info. Now, all the fields are here. We have the comment field. We have the create date. They can ask you to insert the create date, the date it was created, or the current date. We use date. If you want the current date, you use date. And then file name, file size, and other. They can ask you also. So here they want a number of words. So it has been arranged in alphabetical order. So you go to number of words. They can ask you to choose any of these formats, whether 1, 2, 3, or ABC. So the ABC format did not work. So we use the 1, 2, 3, number of words. So the number of words, 1,301. So that's how we insert a field. They can also ask you to insert a field like the current date. So there also you choose date. Then they can give you a specific format for that date. For instance, if the format is not here, you must type it there. You know, when I click here, it gives me a certain format. So let's say that format is not there. And they want the date to be displaying only the year. So you choose the existing format, then you delete all of them to only show the 4Y. Then this one is going to give you only the year. Again, store under the date. You can use document info to also get to date. So when you go there, let's say they want only the time, the current time. Now you can't see the current time here. It's only the date. So if they get a question by saying display the current time, so you cannot find the current time here, or even if you choose time, it will also pick here for you. But then you have to choose the time format. So you can also use the date and then you choose the time format, whether only the hour and the minute, and then also second. So that the current time in full, hour, minute, and then second. So watch out for some of these fields. They can ask you all these type of questions. Right. Now, if you look at this one here also, they say the word count. That's the number of words. So that it will be updated. One mission. Let's go to one mission and then we answer that question also. So all these are properties. So one mission. Now, according to the question, it says, insert the text green cloud in the status property of the document. Now, this is the document, now the status property. You can't just go here, just say status. It won't work. So what you need to do is you go to file. When they are talking about properties, you go to file and then you choose info, file info. Then you are going to find all the properties of the file, like the file size, like the pages, number of words, editing, and others. Now, if you don't find a specific file size here or the property here, you click on show all properties. Show all properties, then you will find the status. Status, then you can now type the status, which is the green club. Right, so they can ask you to even add the category or change the author name or add the author. You just go here and then you change the author. So that's how we change the properties of a file. Then again, still under the properties, Q1 rugby. The question says, inspect the document and remove all hidden text. So this is also about inspection to remove all hidden text. Q1 rugby. Now they say we must inspect this document and then remove all hidden text. Now, how do we inspect a document and then remove the hidden text? We can do so. You can go here. If you don't know where to find it, you say inspect. It's part of prepare for distribution. And then you will see inspect document. So when you type prepare for distribution, you see inspect document. Or it is also part of review. You will see them there. Compare and then combine and then protect. You'll find all of them there. But the best way is to go to file and then when you go to file info, you will see protect document, inspect document. That's the right way of doing it. You go to file info and then you're going to see inspect for issues. Then you see inspect document. They can ask you to also check for compatibility and others. So here you go to inspect document. You say yes. And then you click on inspect. It's going to check for all the issues. Now, under the hidden text, you find there's an issue. All the properties that has issues, you see them remove all next to it. So you can see here that embedded document has no issue. That's why I don't find anything here. But hidden text has an issue. Hence, you see exclamation mark. Then you click on remove all. So it says hidden text was successfully removed. So you have inspected and then remove all the hidden text. So if you re-inspect, you are not going to find anything under hidden text. So when we are marking, we will check the hidden text. There's nothing there as remove all the issues. Right. So that's how we inspect and then we remove issues from a document. Now, when you look at one pyramid, it's also talking about inserting a word processing document as an icon. You can try it also. All these documents are there for you. You can try your hands on them. Q7 graph. Also, it said open the Q7 document, insert the pie chart from the yellow card worksheet into the document, ensuring that it remains linked so any update to the graph are automatically reflected in the document. Save and close. So let's open Q7 graph. So that one is different. So we open Q7 graph. Right, so we are going to copy the graph and then we'll paste the graph here as a link. Now, according to the question, it says, we must insert the pie chart from the yellow card worksheet into the document. So there's a graph that we are going to open the pie chart from it. So let's take a look at that graph. Q7 red. And then yellow card worksheet. So this is the pie chart. You right click and then you copy the pie chart. Then we are going to paste it here. Now, when you are pasting as a link, you go there and then you see paste special. Now, if you are using paste special, it's going to paste as a link. We have paste with Excel object. Now, this question, let's check again. It says, so that it automatically updates. Whenever you change it in the spreadsheet, it will be changed also in Word document. So in such cases, you have to choose paste link. You have to choose paste link, not the normal paste. Paste link, and then you choose Microsoft Excel chart object. Sometimes, again, they can ask you to display it as an icon. You take that also. But here, we are not displaying as an icon. Then we click OK. So this graph is here. When I double click, it will open it. Whatever I do here also, if I change something here on the graph, like the labels, when I come here, it should update automatically. If I right click and say update link, it should be there. So whatever you do in spreadsheet will be affected also here. That's how we do the linking part. Right. Now, I think we have exhausted most of these questions. If you look at 7 application also, they wanted to copy the chart and then it updates automatically. Then one home also, there's a table that we have to copy and paste it as a link. Again, you copy it and then you paste it, use paste special, then you paste it as a link. Now, one oversharing. Find the orange arrow above the bibliography. Insert a link on the arrow so that when it is clicked, it will take the user back to the top of the document. So this one is, let's open it and see. This one is just a hyperlink. It's a hyperlink question. So one, oversharing. Right. So it says we must go down and then bibliography. Let's read the question again. Find the orange arrow above the bibliography. Insert a link on the arrow so that when it is clicked, it will take you back to the top of the document. So this is an arrow. So you select it and then you can right click on it, then choose link. Now, when you are linking on to something that's on the same document, we use place in this document and then choose top of the document so that it will be linked to the top of the document. So here, if I press Control and then I click on it, it takes me back to the top of the document. So that is what this question wanted us to do. This is also the document inserted. So basically, these are all different types of questions about the linking. Now let's move straight to page setup. Before I move to page setup, I would like to check if there are no questions. Please don't forget to bring your questions. I will check and then I answer everybody's question. Right, now, the page setup, also from grade 11 to 10, page setup questions like paper size, margins, line numbers, hyphenation, and others. So we're going to look at different questions from there. Now, first of all, let's take one carnival. We take one carnival. Let me close all these files. Don't have to save them. I must close all of them. Right, so I open one carnival. Now, according to the question, it says, change the paper size of the document to A4, set the top of the margin of the document to 2 centimeters, remove the page background in the document, and set the vertical alignment of the first page of the document to middle. So we are going to change the paper size. We set the margins, and then we are going to remove the background color. And then also we set the vertical alignment. So now, whenever you are dealing with margins, I'm going to show you the shortest way of doing that. First one, you can use the search and type margins or page setup. Or alternatively, if you don't have the ruler settings, these are the ruler settings. If you don't have it, you can go to view and then you take ruler. Now, if you have the ruler setting, double click anywhere inside the ruler settings. Double click, it's going to open page setup. So anytime you double click inside the ruler, it will open page setup for you. Now, the question says the top margin should be 2 centimeters. So the top, we change to 2 centimeters. And then the paper size, we change from letter to A4. They can ask you to also change to a specific size. And then again, the margins, watch out for this. They can ask you to change the margin to narrow or mirror. So here the mirror margin, narrow is not here, but I'll show you where to find a narrow margin. Right. Again, they can ask you to also set the gutter position and then the gutter size. They can ask you to change that. Then when you go to the paper, again, they are asking for vertical alignment. So when you go to layout, you will see vertical alignment center. And we are applying only to this section. That's the first page. If you look at the question, it says, set the vertical alignment of the first page of the document to middle. That's to center. So meaning you set the vertical alignment from layout center, then you must change here, apply to this section. Now, we can also use the same page setup to change the border and then also line number. They can ask you to number them. We can use the page setup also for that. Now, when you are done, you click OK. Let's check the question again. Then we have to remove the background. Now, background remover, you get it under design. Then you see page color, then no color, so that the background color will be removed. I'm going to also take the opportunity to explain to you how to also set up background color. Remember, Microsoft Word, when you are doing it, you don't know where to go. Like here, background, you can just say background or page color. It's going to take you there, page color, and then you change it. You can do that. Right. Now, with the page color, there are other ways of also, if they don't change it to the effect, fill effect. Now, when you go to fill effect, we have the gradient fill. You can ask you to change the gradient fill to 2 colors. With the first color, let's say red, and then the second color to be another color. Then whether it should be diagonal up or that, they can ask you any of these. Again, so here, that's how we take 2 colors to fill the background. So watch out for the background, not only the normal colors, but in the fill effect. Texture is also there, pattern, and then also inserting a picture as the background. Right, so that is all about page color. Now let's move straight to one street. It says, change the bottom page margin to 2 centimeters from the bottom, and then from page 3 onwards. So here, from page 3 onwards, that's what they are talking about. So let's check one street. One street. So again, they can ask you to change the margin to 2 centimeters from page 2. So again, we double click and then you go to margins. Then according to the question, it says 2 centimeters from the bottom. Now, say this section or the whole document. Now here is from the bottom. That's 2 centimeters. So not the top, is from the bottom 2 centimeters. This was 2.5. Now, here we are trying to a certain section. So meaning you were supposed to select the page, they say from page 3 onwards. So 1, page 2, starting from page 3. It should be here that you are setting that margin. So the 2 centimeters only for this. The selected section, and then okay. Only that section that you are setting to 2 centimeters, not the entire document. Right, so you meet such question, gutter margin also, and then gutter position. Like one travel, change the top margin of the document to 2.54 and change the gutter position to top. So one travel, let's check it. Also 2.54 centimeters for the top margin. So 2.54. So 2.54. And then the gutter position to top. They said that the gutter position should be top. And if they say maybe the gutter should be 1 centimeter, you change it also here. So basically, that's how we set the margins and then also the vertical alignment. So all these questions that follow, these are the other activities you can also do them. Change the page orientation of the document to portrait. So if they ask you to change page orientation again, you can double click and then you see orientation to landscape. But the only aspect that you have to also take note, if they say change the margin to wide or moderate or narrow, then you don't have to use the ruler and double click. You just go to layout, margins, and then you will see these ones, narrow, moderate, wide, and then the mirrored margin. These ones have a predefined measurement that is already there. So when you choose moderate, it will have its own measurement also. So take note of that. Right. From there, we move straight to, we are done with the page size, the margins, line numbers, and then the hyphenation. We will look for another question like that also. Here also talks about the border from 6 pt. That's one protect. Let's look at that. One protect. Now, according to the question, insert the border to the document as follows. It must be 2.25 point thick, and then the border must be 6 pt from the text. So now, when you are inserting a border, we can use the search and type border, or alternatively, you see borders and shading, then it takes you there. Alternatively, you can also find from design, and then you see page border, or just use the ruler, you double click, and then when you go to the paper, no, not the paper, the layout, you see border, then to also take it there. So I think the easier way is to just go there. If it is in the examination, you type border and shading. Then you can now change the borders. Now, the question said the page border. So you go to page border, and the width should be 2.25, which is this one. And also, let's check the question again. Must be 6 pt. It says 2.14, and then you go to the option. Then, according to the question, it says it must be 6 points from the text. So you see the margins here. and then measure from the text. Measure from the text, then you choose 6 pt. Did it talk about the right or left? It didn't mention whether from the left or the right. So from the text, and then if they are talking about the right or the left, you change them here for the margin. So maybe 6 pt, they are referring to this. For each, and then okay. So I didn't insert, sorry, I did not insert the type of border. So when I choose 2.4, I must apply it here. The 6 pt from the text. So you must make sure that when you are doing page border, you go to options. When they are talking about from the text, you go to options, but don't forget to pick them, those borders, you pick them. 6 throughout, and then okay. Right, so this is 6 pt from the text, and then also 2.25 width. So that's how we insert a border from the text. Right, also the layout, this one is talking about the legal, the paper size should be legal, and then the gutter position to be the left. Like the same way you only focus on this, the paper should be legal, not A4. And then also the gutter position to the left. So that's how we change the gutter and then also the page setup. There are so many questions like that. Like here, it says change it to A4 and then the margin should be to mirror. So the margin also, you go there to layout, margins, then you choose the mirror one. So that's how we set up a page, right? Without wasting much time, let's move on. I will come back and check your questions. Find and replace. Now, find and replace, I'm going to cover all the aspects of find and replace. Here, we are going to talk about the normal find and replace. Then we will also talk about find and replace special. We will also talk about find and replace using different characters. And then we'll also talk about find and replace using a symbol or a picture. So without wasting much time, let me start with the first one, Q1 rugby. It says, use a word processing feature to replace all hard spaces with an asterisk. All the hard spaces we are going to replace with asterisks. Now, how do we achieve that? Let's look at it, Q1 rugby. We are going to find and then replace hard spaces with asterisks. So the hard spaces, find and replace, we can also use search and type replace. Or alternatively, you can use Control H, or from home, under editing, you see replace. Now, the question says we are going to replace or find all the occurrences of the word hard spaces, and then we are going to replace with asterisks. So we have to click inside find what? It's a find what? Then you just click there, and then you go to more, special. Anytime we are talking about characters, we use the special one. So special, these are all the special characters. We have the M dash, we have the N dash, N note mark, and others. So non-breaking space, We have the manual line break and others. Now the question says hard spaces. Hard spaces are non-breaking space. This one. When you talk about hard space, that's the non-breaking space. And then we replace with, now if you know all these shortcuts, instead of you to choose that, you can just say raised to the power small s. That's the non-breaking space. Then we are going to replace it with asterisk. And then you go to replace all. So we got 3 replacements. That's how we do find and replace special. Now let's take a look at the second one. Still under the find and replace. It says replace all occurrences of the word winner with the word champion. Do not change the part of the words that contain the text winners. The replacement must be highlighted in yellow. Right, so let me open one M spot. One M spot. Now the person says we are going to find all the word winner. Do not change parts of the word that contain the text winner. So if it's even winners, you don't change it. The replacement must be highlighted in yellow. So it should be the exact word winner. Again, we start with replace. Now let me delete this. So here we are going to find what winner. Then you go to more. So here we are using the exact word. The exact word, find whole word only. That's the one you are finding, not winner with another word. And then replace with. You don't do anything. So you click inside replace with, then you go to more, format, and then you will see highlight. Now let me explain this. Sometimes they can ask you to highlight it with blue. So if they are asking you to highlight with blue, it's going to pick this default highlight, which is yellow. So you need to change it. If the question was saying blue color or green, you have to change the highlight to blue. Then you go to replace all. So you got 4 replacements, which is winner, and it's highlighted in blue. Right. So basically, that is how we highlight something by using find and then replace. Now the next one says, change all the occurrences of the whole word environmental that appear in the document with the title, character, style. So one mission. We are going to find the word environmental. Then we apply a title, character, style on it. So we have to make use of find and then replace. We have to make use of find and replace. So here again, we go to find and replace. So we are finding environmental. Then we are going to replace it. I don't need this formatting. Now, when you are replacing, you click there, then format, then you choose style. And then we are going to replace with the style, which is the title, character, style. We look for title, style. Not the title, but the title, character, style. And then okay. Replace all. So we got 15 replacement. So all the words environmental will now be changed, or title, character, style will be applied to that particular word. So that's how we apply a style also by using find and then replace. Now, so you meet some of these questions. Again, manual line break were used. We have to replace it with paragraph mark. So this question says we have to find manual line break and then we replace with a paragraph mark. It is similar to the first one that we did, the hash space with also asterisk. So it is the same thing. You just have to look for manual line break and then using the special, then you replace it with asterisk. Right. So we can also take a look at that before I go to the find and replace that deals with images or symbol. So that one is one victims. So again, find and replace. So we are finding what? We are going to find, you go to special, and then you choose manual line break. Then replacing, you go there, and then you choose paragraph mark. So the question says you are finding the manual line break, then you replace with paragraph mark. So all of them are under special. So we got 4 replacements. Right. So that is all about find and replace special. Now let's go to find and replace dealing with characters. I have 2 questions here. I will do only one, then you do the others. One is one day tour, and then the other one is this one review name, which is also similar to this one. Right. So I'm going to use the one day tour, and then I answer that question. Right. Now the question says, replace the exact word tour with the symbol WebDins character code 102. So here we are going to look for the word tour and then we replace with character code 102. So first of all, we need to insert this symbol, character code 102, and then we cut it. Now, when we cut, it goes to a clipboard. So this is how we do it. Anywhere you click there and then insert the symbol. Then I would prefer you insert it somewhere here. So we go to insert symbol, and then you choose WebDings, character code 102. Then you insert it. Now, when you insert the symbol, you need to cut it. So you select and then you cut. You can use Control X or you right click on it and choose cut. Why do you prefer cut instead of copy? Because when sometimes you use copy and then maybe they want the number of replacement, the initial symbol that you inserted will still be there. So it's better copy or you cut it. Then after that, you go to find and replace. So what are we finding? The word tour. And then when it comes to replace with, do not right click and say paste. No, this is wrong. You click there. Then you go to special. Then you see clipboard content. Clipboard content, it will not change the formatting. But then when you paste it, it's going to change it. It's going to change the format from WebDins to other character. So it's better you use the special clipboard content and then you go to replace all. So we got 23 replacements. Wherever you see the tour, then it's going to change it with that symbol. So that's how we use find and replace special. And even this symbol, they could have also asked you, this symbol, they could have asked you to also format it by changing the font and other. They could have asked you to do that. Right. So that is how we do find and replace special. What about an image? Let's say it was a picture. It was a picture. So instead of it to be like here, it's also another one with a special. It's another one. I want to show a situation whereby they can ask you to replace a certain word with a symbol. Let's say the same one data. Let me open it. And then they are saying we should use find and replace. Now we are replacing with a picture. So first of all, we need to insert that picture. So I'm going to insert a picture, then I'll cut it. So insert picture from this device. Let's say this picture. Then I cut this picture. So if I go to find and replace, now here is clipboard content. And then I choose replace all. So this 23 replacement, everywhere you see, so will be now replaced with a picture. So that is also another way if they ask you to insert or replace a text with a picture. That is how we replace them. Right, that is all about find and replace. You can go through these questions. There are some of them that are a bit challenging, but I think if you want follow this, you'll be able to do them. For instance, this particular one, whereby they said, use a word processing feature to replace all digits, that's the numbers, in the document with a star. So this is any digit. So we call this one any digit. Any digit. So this one is also part, let me see, to help us. We try to close all the gaps so that in case you get that type of question, you won't struggle. To help us. Right. Okay, I'll take another one. Maybe I'll check the file. So find and replace. Let's say they ask you to the digit. So you go to special, then you see here any digit. There's also any letter or any character. So look out for this also. Any digit. Now, how many digits are they talking about? They say all digits. Sometimes they can say 2 digits. So if it's 2, you put 2 there. That's any 2 digit. Then we are replacing with star. So we got 113 digits. So we have replaced with star. So that is also another way of replacing a digit with any other symbol. That is all about find and replace. You can meet such questions, and I believe you'll be able to answer them. Before I proceed, yeah, there are no questions, so I can proceed with that. Right. Now let's move straight to links, which is also grade 12 content. Links, bookmark, hyperlink, and then cross-reference. Now, there are 3 types of links. We have the bookmark, we have the hyperlink, and then we have the cross-reference. Now, the bookmarks are used to link, or you call it a target location. A bookmark is a target location within the document or within another document. And then we can also have a hyperlink or a link to that particular bookmark. Then a cross-reference is also creating a link to either a bookmark or any object within the document. So these are all three types of link that we are going to also take a look at them. Now I would start with the first one, two buildings, which says insert a cross-reference on the text reference to the bookmark forever. Display only the page number. So let me start with two buildings. Now the question says, we must insert a cross-reference on the text reference to the bookmark forever. So we have to look for the word reference. And I believe it might be highlighted. If it's not highlighted, we can search for it. Here is it. So we are applying a cross-reference to this text. You select it. Now, cross-reference, you can get it from references, and then you see cross-reference. Alternatively, you can also search. After selecting, you search for cross-reference. It's going to give you insert cross-reference. Now, we can have reference type to numbered item, heading, bookmark, footnote, endnote, equation, figure, and tables. So we can cross-reference to any list or any item within the document. Now the question says we must cross-reference to bookmark, and the bookmark name is called Forever. So when you select bookmark, it's going to give you the list of all the bookmarks within the document. Now, again, the question says display only the page number. So we have here insert reference to. Then we choose page number. They can ask you to be above or below bookmark text, paragraph number, no context, paragraph number, full context. So per your phase 3, you are also required to create a link. It can be cross-reference or bookmark or hyperlink. So here we are linking to a bookmark by displaying the page numbers. They can ask you to also include above and below. And then you click insert. Okay. So now we only inserted to the page number, so you only see it here. Now, if I select and then I press Control, then I click on it, it's going to link it to that particular bookmark. Here's the bookmark. So that's how cross-reference works. It's a link to any place, a target location or any place. I can also give you another example here. Let's say I'm creating a cross-reference to this. But this time around, I want to cross-reference to a figure. There are no figures here. So maybe numbered list. There are no numbered lists in this document. Heading. Yeah, there are some heading here. I want to cross-reference to this link, this heading, and then I want it to be above and below, and then insert. So when I click on this, it takes me to that particular heading. So you can also have cross-reference linking to a heading instead of a bookmark to a heading. So that is also allowed. You can meet such questions so many instances. Right, now let's go to one member newsletter. It says locate the yellow highlighted heading, dear valued members, add a hyperlink to this text as follows. The hyperlink must link to the website this, and then the text covenant must display when the mouse hovers over the hyperlink. Right, so I'm going to open one member. one member newsletter. And then the question says, we must locate the yellow highlighted heading. So we have to go and look for yellow highlighted heading, this one. Then we select it. And then we right click and choose link. So whenever you are creating a hyperlink, you right click, choose link. Then it says the hyperlink must be linked to a website, enquiries@ph.gov. So this is the website. You type the website here. At ph. Right. Now you type the address here. Then the question says the text COVID-19 must display if you hover over it. That is the screen tip. Screen tip. You go there and then you type it here, COVID-19. Then okay. So if I put the mouse pointer here, that COVID-19 must be there. Right. So that is how we create a hyperlink. Now, again, they can also ask you to create a hyperlink or a bookmark or hyperlink to a bookmark on the same location. Now, I think an example would be to marine. This one here is about cross-reference. We have talked about that. That is, you are cross-referencing to a picture. So the picture was already there. Now, to Jacobs, use the email address in yellow to insert a hyperlink to the default email program. Now, let's open the two Jacobs also. So now the question says there's an email address. We need to insert it. Use the email address in yellow to insert a hyperlink to the default email. So this one is already the email address given to you. You select it. We need to copy it. So now we want to link this one to the default email address. You right click and choose link. Now, whenever you are linking to email address, you cannot put the address here. This one is for websites. So if you want the email address, you go to this one, email address, then you put that email address here so that it will change to mail to. So that the moment you click on it, automatically it opens the email address or email program for you. And then, okay. So the moment you click on this one, it's going to open email software for you. Right. So that is how this question was meant, wanted you to approach it. This one is the normal hyperlink. You can try your hands on it also. Cross-reference, we talk about it. You must also try your hands on it. Cross-reference can be inserted on anything, but always make sure that you focus on whether it is being linked to a bookmark or what. Now, before that, I want to also show you how to hyperlink to another bookmark, like to history 2. It says, let's open the to history again. Now, according to this question, it says, insert a hyperlink on the text Winter Olympics in paragraph 2 as follows. It should link to the bookmark highlight. The text highlight must display when the mouse hovers over it. So here we are linking to a bookmark on paragraph 2. I think this one was a different one, a different question. or different data file. Got paragraph 2, I don't see Winter Olympics. I'll verify that. Let's say we were linking this one to a bookmark, Paris. So bookmark, we choose place in this document, and then you are going to see all the bookmarks and then the headings there. So you'll see top of the document, all the headings will also be there. Now we are linking to, let's say, bookmark called Legend. And then you click on screen tip, maybe Legend. And then okay. So when I click on this, it takes me to that particular bookmark. Right. That is another way of inserting bookmark placed in this document. Now, you can also open another document. Let's say I have one street. I have one street. Then this one street, I have legends, which I want to link it to the bookmark from to history. So I will select this legend, right click and choose links. Now, it is not placed in this document because I'm linking it to a bookmark from another document. So I cannot just click on place in this document. It should be existing file or web page. Then I click on bookmark. So here is a bookmark from that particular document. Now, if I want a bookmark on another document, I go to history. This is to history 2. I select the file. Remember, I must click existing file, and then you select the file. Then before you click on bookmark, then it's going to show you bookmark from that particular file, and then legend, and then okay. So if I click on it, it's going to take me to history, that particular position. So not into the same document, you can also get a question whereby they ask you to link it to another particular place within that document. So that part of question, they can ask you, they have started asking bookmark linking different documents. Right. So that is all about the links. You can try your hands on most of them. Whenever you see this, it's cross-reference. See on page, that's cross-reference. So this one, they were talking about the page number. They use the page number to do that. It is a cross-reference. And then also, this one was a cross-reference to a picture. So you can try your hands on that also. Okay. So that is all about links and then different cross-reference. You can go through them. You can go through those ones. Now, from cross-reference, we move on to shapes and then SmartArt. This is grade 10 and 11. You can get question also about shapes and then SmartArt. So I will pick one shape and then how to group them. Then I'll also pick image, how to group images and others. Yeah, somebody say, where can I get this material? And the question so that I can practice with it. Yes, everything is there. Let me share it right now for you before I proceed. This is for the grade 11 practicals. When you open, you are going to find all these. Then this is Microsoft Word. These are the questions, and then this is the data file. So I'm going to share with you. But then after this video, you are also going to get them. You will find all these links, and then you'll be able to practice them. Right. Now, let me move straight to the next question. Like I said, WordArt shapes, and then SmartArt. Now I'm going to start with 2 renewable. And then how to group different shapes. Right, now the first question says, format the main heading as follows. Change the heading to capital letters and apply the WordArt style to it. Any WordArt style. So this is the heading. We are going to change this heading to uppercase. You select it, and then you'll find change case, which is capital A, small a, under the font group. Then you see uppercase. Then the WordArt, you'll find WordArt also under insert. Then you see WordArt. Or if you don't know where to find it, again, you can search WordArt, but it needs to be selected. Then you can choose any WordArt style. And then the question says, apply any transform style to the WordArt. Now, when you have WordArt, it's going to give you shape format. If you select WordArt, you see shape format. Then you have here then you are going to have here the WordArt style and then the fill effect. So if this style transform and they have different transform, which has its own name, so they can ask you to choose any of them. So any style. You can also reduce the size. Now, if you want it only to be on top, you can change this one so that you can now move it to be alone. You don't want the introduction to be with it. So I can now take it up to be alone on top. Right. That's the transformation style. Fill the text with a red font color. These are the text. Again, you go to shape format. You will see we have the shape fill. This is the shape fill. When you shape or when you fill the shape, it's going to be only the box. Now, if you are going to fill the text, we use this one, which is the text outline and then the text fill, this one. So we choose this one as a text fill, and we also have this one for text effect with a transform and then different rotations. Right, now, again, the question says, change the font of the WordArt to Aharoni. So you have to now change the font. You go to home and then you change the font. So this is what the question wanted us to change everything and then the font and then fill in. Now this WordArt, still under the shape format, they can ask you to change the style or the theme. There are different themes, existing one that they can ask you to change it. Now they can also ask you to combine the WordArt with a picture. So we will also look at that, how to combine the WordArt with a picture and other things, or to change the direction. You go to the direction. They can ask you to change the direction. Right, or rotate it, that's the direction, vertical flip up. So you can be given a question to also change, or they can give you a screenshot. They rotated it. So look out for the rotation part, flip vertical, flip horizontal, rotate 90 degrees, or this. And then we also have the position with more layout position. They can ask you to change the layout position, whether absolute or relative position. They can ask you to change any of these position, and then the margins also. They can ask you this. So watch out for this type of question, especially grade 12. They can give you options to change the word art. Right, like this one, 2 stadium, you can also do that. Here, the format is triangle up, and then the border is 3pt, and then this is the color that they use, stretch, extend, horizontal across the page. So it is similar to this one, but then they change. They change this one, the shape outline with a weight, maybe 3pt, and then shape outline also with a stretch. They can ask you a particular stretch. They also have shape effect with a shadow and 3D. They can ask you. Then again, with the actual text, the text also, they can ask you to change the weight of the text to 3pt. These are the texts and these are the shapes. They can ask you to change them also by going to this, and then you change it. So watch out for this. They can ask you some of these questions, and then the layout or the color that you must also choose. These are the colors with different names, the theme colors. They can ask you to choose it. Right. So basically, that is how you need to do. All that you have to do is whenever you are dealing with word art, don't forget to click on shape format the moment you select the word art. Then you are going to get all those options that the question requires you to do. Right. Let's look at another aspect of word art. One venue. Let's go to one venue, and then from there, we will move to images. It says replace the image on the cover page with the one France. So let's open it. There's an image given to us here. Now the question says we have to replace this image. Replace the image on the cover page with the one France image. So you right click on this image, you see change picture. Change picture from this device. Then we are going to look for one France. You can search for it here. Here is it. Now, again, the question says sharpen the picture by 50% and set the picture color saturation to 200%. Again, just like the word art, when you are dealing with image, the moment you click on the image, you see picture format. Then there's so many things that you can do regarding the image. There's so much that you can do regarding the image. When you go to picture format, this is the picture, and then you go to picture format. You are going to find remove background. They can ask you to remove the background. Then you click on keep changes so that the background will be removed. Now I don't want to remove the background. And then they can ask you to correct the image. That is where you see the sharpen and the soften. You also see brightness and then the contrast. Now the question says we must sharpen the image by 50%. So when you go to corrections, sharpen, each of them has the percentage. This is softer percentage, sharper 0, and sharpen 50%. If it is not there, you must go to picture correction to change the options. If it's not there, you go there and then now change it here. Sharpen to the percentage that you want. Let's say they ask for 70%. Then you now change it here. Because it has only up to 50. If it's not there, you go and change it this side. Right. Then again, we have the color saturation, which is under color. Also color saturation, color tone, and then red color. They can ask you any of these also. Now they said the color saturation should be 200. Here's 200. So it's easier. Again, if the color saturation is not there, you also go to picture color. And then you change the color saturation here. Let's say we wanted to change 300. Or sometimes they will give you a preset that is already there. So you must watch out for this. You go to picture format after you have selected the picture format, corrections, and then the color. We also have artistic effects with different artistic effects like marker and others. They can ask you, you must know where to find it, or you go to artistic effect to get more options. We have transparency, and then we also have here, reset the picture if you don't want it to be. Sometimes they can give you a question whereby they want you to reset the picture back to the normal one. You go to reset the picture. Right. You can also change the picture. Like I said, when you go to picture, you go to change picture from the device. So these are different ways of changing pictures. Again, picture style, picture border. They can ask you to put a border around it, still under picture format. And then picture effect also. Then picture layout, different layout to change its position. Right. But I'm not going to go into this details. We are still going to do images, which I'm going to explain more for you. Right. Again, regarding pictures, they can ask you to also flip it vertical or horizontal, or crop it to shape. Crop it to a shape, maybe to the heart shape. They can ask you to crop it also, and then you combine those pictures. So I was just using to show you how to answer pictures whenever you meet such questions. Right, you can go through them. Like this one here, you can see that they put WordArt on top of the picture here. They fill it with the green, and then they chose wave 2 transformation so that you see it as that. Right, now the images. We're gonna do images. One review. Open the one poster using the P1, and then you paste all the 5 images. So first of all, I'm going to open one poster. This is one poster. So we have 5 images. Now the question wants us to have the images to be, as you can see on the screen. They group it to shape, or they crop it to shape. So you can see the images. There are 2 here and there are 3 that side. So these 2, they are already grouped. They're already grouped. So what you need to do is you must ungroup. You right click and choose ungroup so that you can now put them properly. They must be ungrouped. They are still put together. Yeah. So that I can now arrange them properly to look like that. And then these three also together. Right. So I can group them again. Now, one thing that I want you to know is that whenever you are grouping images or shapes, make sure that when you click on it, their layout should be the same. So layout option, if they are all like this, in front, all of them must have in front or behind text like this. Or you can also change them to tight or through or square, all of them before you can group it. So now, if they have the same layout, to group it, you click on the first one, you hold down Control key, you click on the second one, they will be selected. You right click and choose group so that there will be one. Now, these three, let me bring them to be closer. Now, to group also, you click here, make sure they all have the same layout options. So you select one, you press Control, you select the second one, the third one. Now, when you are done, you right click and choose group so that they become one. Now I need to group these two also. You click here, hold down Control, you click this one also. After selecting them, remove your finger from the Control key, you right click and choose group. So they are one object. Now, if they are one object, we want it to be like this. So all that you do is you go to picture format, you will see crop to shape, and they were hexagon. I think this one, that shape. So this one now looks like that. Yeah, I think they look like that. Then you can now copy this image and paste it into that particular document. Right, so that is how we manipulate images, grouping, and then also to shape. Like this one, also one solar, they group them and then they put them as one. You can try your hands also on them. Right, one member newsletter. Let's move straight to that one. So you know how to group and change the position and then the size. What if they ask you to change the size of this group? Of this? Now, when you click on it and you want to change the size, picture format, you see the size, click on this arrow. Now, the size, they can also ask you to change the positions. Watch out for that. Now, to have the exact size, you must remove this log aspect ratio, must not be there, so that you can have the exact height. Let's say I want the height to be 5, and then this one will be 6, so that you can have the exact size. So that is how we change the size of an image. So you must watch out for that type of question. Right. I think I will do the last question regarding images. Then you also look at other questions. There are so many of them regarding images. Here they remove them, and then this one they put them in the middle. I think you can be looking at them. Then I'll pick a question like this, like two equal. So I'm going to start from this one member newsletter. One member newsletter. Right. There is an image. I think it's this image. Right. And then they are saying that find the picture as you see. above the heading, stop that, and adjust it to look as you see in the paragraph below the heading. Stop incorrect dental claims. So we have this. They want it to be somewhere here to be stop incorrect dental claims. So we need to move this one. Make sure that you have tight or square. You can move it or you cut and paste. We can cut it and come and paste it somewhere here. Now, the instructions are given to us over there. It says, take note, the artistic effect is photocopy. So when, like I told you, when you click on the image, artistic effect, photocopy, marker each of them. So you must look for photocopy artistic effect. Yeah, here is it, photocopy. You have to choose the right one. And then again, layout is layout position. They give layout position over here. Horizontal is absolute 8 centimeters. So you go there and then you go to size. You see position. And then now the question is horizontal. 8 centimeter absolute to the right. So absolute horizontal position should be 8 centimeters to the right margin. To the right of outside margin. So not just margin. Outside margin. You change it. And then again, vertical absolute 1 centimeter below the paragraph. So vertical absolute 1 centimeter below the paragraph. And then again, the alternate text to the picture should be dental, and then the description should be our codes on the claims correct. Now, so you have done with the position here. And then they didn't talk about the wrapping. They didn't talk about the size also. So you leave that part. See where it's placed. Then you now go and then change the alternate text from the picture format. You see alt text. Then you type that information here. And then they said the title should be dental description are codes on the claim correct. So here, dental. And then you type as it is. Then you close it. Right. So when you go to alternate text, you are going to see them here. So this is what the question wanted you to do regarding that particular one. That is one member. Right. So the history, I'm also going to show you how to place them like here. You can get a picture that they want you to place them in the middle, and then you change the shape to oval shape, like you see over there. 5 history to change it also. Then also moving these images as one object, the spider, one home. Then you group them to become one object by selecting them. Then also when we have images like this. Spider-Man to remove the background. So let me open one superhero and show you how to do that. So one superhero, there was a Spider-Man somewhere. This one. And they wanted to remove the background. When you click on it, you see picture format, background remover. You say keep changes. Now it cuts some of the head here, so it's wrong. You must undo. Now when it click again, picture, background remover. You can use this one to mark, remove areas, and then the areas to keep. So you can just choose the area that you want to keep. You want to keep all these areas. Otherwise, it's gonna remove certain important areas, like you see here. So these are the areas you want to keep, and then the other ones. So if you want to remove this side also, you can do that, remove, and then you mark areas to remove here. Then you click on it. So that's how we do to remove certain areas and then to also keep others. Right. Now, 7 super logo also here. They wanted to create a logo and then you group them as one object. Then I think that's all about images. You can do more of these images, removing the background and others. Now I want to show you how to place an image and put a border like you see here. 2 telecom or 2 eco. I think I will pick the 2 eco and then which is similar to 2 telecom or telecommute. In most cases, you see that type of question, 2 eco, whereby you'll be given a screenshot, then they want you to do that particular image. Now, this screenshot here says you must insert 2 green image to the right, then it should show as you can see on the screen. So I will have to just go and then look for 2 green image. Right, I'm showing you another way of inserting an image also. Instead of you to go to insert picture, you can also do the drag and drop. And then you put the image at that position. Instead of you to go through this insert picture and others, you can just do drag and drop. Now this is the image. So we go and choose layout option square so that we can now move the image to the right, as you can see from the screenshot. We move the image to the right, and it should be below, a little bit below these 2 green. Yes. Then again, you can see from the screenshot here that this text start from 2 centimeter. That we call it not a text stop, we call it indentation. So this one is first line indent. It has been pushed in the first line. We also have hanging indent. So this one is at 0 centimeters, and this one is 2 centimeters. Right, and here on the right, we see it on 5 centimeters. So you can see them from the screenshot. This is on 15, and here is 2, and this one is 0. So I'll have to go and change that. You use the ruler settings. You click inside the paragraph. From the right margin, you change it to 15. And then the first line, the one on top there, first line indent to 2 centimeters. This one is at 0. Now watch out for that. We have first line. Sometimes they can give you a question that is talking about the left indent. That's the one below. You drag it to, let's say, 2 centimeters. But here is the first line. Only the first line should be taken to 2 centimeters. This one, picture format, crop to shape, to this one. It was cropped to shape to this. Then after that, they put, also, if you can see from the screenshot, they put a border around it. There's a border around it. So to insert a border around a text or paragraph and then an image, you go to insert, then you use shape, then you choose this one, which is text box. Then you draw the text box around it. Now, when you draw a text box around, change the text box layout option to behind text, so that the text box will be behind the text and all the text and images will be displayed. Now, if the text box, they want you to again change the outline to 3pt, you change it. If they want it to be deep one, as you can see here. So this is what you see from the screenshot. So all these screenshots that you normally see, combining a text with that, study the details, study what they did there, and then you apply them. Right, so here they ask, there should be a border around the text and picture, first line of 2 centimeters, and then the right indent of 1 centimeter. Right, so that is all about that question. This question also is grouping, crop to shape, this one, they crop this one to shape, and then this one, they change the text outline, then they were able to get it right. You can also try your hands on that. To rescue also a picture, here they inserted a shape in front of the picture, then they type the text volunteers. So you can also try at home. Again, a picture was inserted in the middle and changed to oval shape. Right, let me wrap up with a SmartArt. Then on Monday, we're gonna have continuation of Microsoft Word, whereby we will focus on other questions also. Right, so the SmartArt. Here we are talking about changing different SmartArt like this and different shapes. So I will just do 1 or 2 SmartArt, then you'll be able to complete the rest of the SmartArt. Now, 3 infograph, that's our next question. 3 infograph. So it says insert a SmartArt graphic showing the 3 stages of renewable energy generation as follows. So we need to insert a SmartArt over here. We go to insert SmartArt. Now you look for that SmartArt. I think this one. So sometimes if you don't know which SmartArt, you can scroll down and then look for it. This is the one. And then you click OK. Now, the first text is energy capture. You type it here. You go to the second one, convert to electricity. Then you go to the third one, distribute to grid. Right. So the question says you must use continuous block process. Fill in this. Use SmartArt color scheme, colorful, and apply any 3D style. Check the rotation. So the color scheme should be colorful and then 3D style applied. Now, when you select the 8, you'll find SmartArt design. We have the colors, colorful. There are different colorful ones. So the question will tell you which one you must use. So I think they use this one. And then again, that's the colorful. And then art style, 3D. Choose any 3D style. Now they rotated this, if you can see here. It was rotated to the left. So you click on this. This is the general one, and this is only the arrow. Then you rotate it. Remember, you also have right to left and left to right. You can do this, but we don't want to change this one, only rotating this part. You don't want to change it. Then the text pane from the SmartArt, something that you have to know here is that when it comes to SmartArt, when you click on it, and then you see the text pane, we have promote and demote. Let's say I add another one, conserve energy. Now, I want conserve energy to be under energy capture. So I can use the text pane, demote and promote. When you say demote, demote means it should be under this one. So if I click on demote, it's going to be another list under the energy capture. So that I can type another item there. So if I want this one to be promoted, I go to promote, then to be on its own. So that is how we manipulate SmartArt. Make sure you have SmartArt design with a text pane using demote and then also promote, adding shape, adding bullets. They can ask you to also have it as a bullet. Then you can use that also. So take note of that. There are several of these, like this one here. Some of them were not there, so you needed to use the text pane to add them, like one travel. Some of them were not there. Join our smart and add the health alert. So health alert was not there, so they needed to add that one as the third one. So let me show you a typical example. That's one travel. Yeah, this one. Other ones were not there. As you can see here, security followed by demonstration alert. Okay, security was there. Yeah. So one was not there, which is the health alert. This one is not there. So when you come here, you press enter and then you can now type. Now, if you want to demote it, like I said, SmartArt design, you can demote it so that it will be under demonstration on alert. So that's how we do the demotion and then promotion. Don't forget this part also and formatting. Right. I think we have done so much for the day. We still have some few minutes that we can use to do other questions also. Now, I want us to look at a text box, which is part of the images also. One health. Let's do that one. Text box. On Monday, don't forget we have another session whereby let's be part 2 of the Microsoft Word. We will wrap up for the term, the second aspect, so that Microsoft Word for the term will be complete. Right. Regarding the One Health, there was an image, or not an image, a text. They said insert a 9 centimeter high by 8 centimeter wide text box and move the text that begins with nitrogen dioxide. So that, yeah, we have to move this one into that particular text box. So we go to insert, shapes, and then we draw a text box. Now this text box, when we click on it, it's a shape. So when you go there, we might change the size. According to the question, the size should be 9 centimeter height and 8 centimeter width. So this one should be 8, and here should be 9. Then we move this text. We can take this one somewhere, the text box. Now we are going to move this text. We cut them. Then we put it inside. Right, now I want to show you how powerful you can also make use of text box. Now this is the text box we have. If we have another text box, insert shape text box, we have another text box here. We can link these two text box so that some of the text will overflow to this one. So if I click on the original text box, then I go to shape format, you will see create link. When you click on create link, you're going to see this tooltip. Then you come and click on the second text box. So now these two are linked together. If I reduce this size, they overflow to the other second text box. So that's how we create a link for two text boxes, or can be three, and they will be linked together so that the text, if it's full, will overflow to the next one. That's the creation of a link for a text box. Now, so that is it for this type of question. They only wanted to move them into the text box, but I just use it to show you also, watch out for that type of question, whereby they can ask you to move them as well. Now, this is also a SmartArt, and then they have the two arrows pointing towards each other. You can try your hands on them. Also, this SmartArt with TikTok with the other options type below it. So you must use the mode and others to do that, the one adopt. So you can try these questions also at home. Right. Cover pages. I think we did cover pages. Cover pages is just about typing the content of the cover page and then changing the existing and inserting the author and then other things. We did this one venue, this cover page, we did it. Endurance also, your name and surname entered into the cover page. You must also watch out for cover pages, then formatting the date into a specific date. You can watch out for that type of questions also. Right, then watermark. Watermark. Regarding watermark, I'm going to do 2 or 3 questions whereby you do watermark on a specific page, then also setting a watermark by using a symbol. So first of all, let me use this watermark, that one solar, to do a watermark. Then I'll put it on a specific page. So I'm going to open one solar. Now, this question says, add a watermark to the document as follows. Insert a custom text watermark using the symbol Wingdings character code 134. So listen here, we are using a symbol as a text watermark. And then the text watermark should be Wingdings character code 134. So first of all, just like the find and replace with a picture or a symbol, you need to insert that symbol. So I'm going to insert the symbol anywhere, and then I'll cut it. So I go to insert symbol, more symbols, and say Wingdings. Character code 134. Then you click on insert. So this is the symbol. Now, after I've inserted the symbol, I select and then I'll cut it. Now, when you cut the symbol, like we always say, it goes to clipboard content. So here we go to watermark. We can insert watermark by going to search and then you type watermark. Or alternatively, you can go to design. Then you choose custom watermark. And it is a text watermark. Where it says text, you don't paste it. Or even if you paste it, you need to change the font to the same font that you use, Wingdings. So you paste it here and you change to Wingdings. They can ask you to change the size, let's say to 800. And then the color may be red, diagonal or horizontal, and then you apply it. So this is the watermark, that symbol. First of all, you insert the symbol, you cut that symbol, and then you paste it. Don't forget to change it to that particular character that you inserted. Otherwise, it's going to give you wrong answer. So you need to change that. Now, what if the question says this watermark must be only on the first page? Now, listen. If the question says only on the first page, it's easier. All that you do is you double click in the footer of the first page. Then you take different first page. Under the header and footer, you take different first page. When you take different first page, meaning that you are dividing, that's what section break, you are dividing the first page from the other pages. So after taking different first page, now you can go to the second page. Still, your footer and then the header must be activated. Then you go and then click on the watermark for the second page. Okay, this is section 1. So you go there and then press delete. So first page is 7. All the other pages are gone. So first of all, you need to insert it. Then you take different first page here. Meaning you are separating first page from the others. And you cannot delete it if your footer and header is not activated. Then you go to the second page, which you don't need it. You put a mouse pointer on it, then you press the delete key. That is how we insert watermark on one particular page. Right, now I'm going to show you again. What if this question, using One Health, then I'm inserting a watermark with WebDins character code. Symbol, WebDins, character code 102. Then I cut it. Again, design, watermark, custom watermark. Then I choose text watermark. And then you have to delete ASAP, then you paste it. Don't forget to change the font to the same font, which is WebDins. And then you can change this one. If you don't have the exact size, maybe 300, you type it. So you can see here is the symbol on all the pages. Now, if I want it only on page 2 here, I want it to be only on page 2. That means page 1 shouldn't have, and page 3 should not have it. Then I must put what we call section break. Now, the section break, I have to put it here at the end of page 1. I click there, or you can also put it at the beginning of page 2. You go to layout, breaks, and then you choose continuous page. Then at the end of page 2, also again, I go breaks, continuous. So meaning that I am separating this page from page 1 and then also separating from the last page. Now, after you are done, double click on the header of page 2, remove this. That is called link to previous. You have to remove it so that you delink, you separate page 2 from the previous page, which is page 1. So you take here, link to previous, remove it, both the header and the footer. The footer also, you must remove it. So what it means is that I have separated this page from page 1. Again, I must separate page 3 from page 2. So I go to link to previous, the header, and the footer. Why do we have to separate the header and footer? Because you know that watermark, we use the header and footer to do it. Otherwise, they will be linked together. So after I have separated them, I can now comfortably click on this and press delete. Page 2 is still there. Then I go to page 1. I click on it. Remember, when you are clicking, your header and footer must be there so that you can click and select and press the delete key. So that is deleted. Only page 2 is having it. So that is how we insert. If you want to place it only on a specific pages or specific pages, you must put section break, which is continuous, and then you have to delink them. Then you'll be able to separate these watermarks. Right. So you see so many questions like that regarding watermark, and then they want you to put it on a specific page. Like here, this watermark is set on the last page only. So the last page only, meaning that you have to delink them. You have to delink them. That is one mission. Let's check one mission. One mission for the watermark for the last page. So now they said we must insert the watermark symbol character code 255. Remember to first insert the symbol WebDins 255. Then what do? You cut it. And then you go to design, watermark, custom watermark. Then you paste it under the text. Don't forget to change it to WebDins. I don't know whether they asked the size. No size was mentioned here. So here, maybe a size of 300. So that watermark is inserted on all the pages. Now the question says should be only the last page. So meaning that we have to divide the last page from the other pages. What you do is you click before it. The first sentence you click before it, and then you go to layout, breaks, and then you choose continuous, so that we are separating the last page from the rest of the pages. Then after that, you double click on the header, remove link to previous, and then you go to the footer. Again, remove link to previous. So after that, you can now go to the rest of the pages, click on it, then you press delete key. So all the pages are deleted. There's no watermark, but then the last page has it. So you are separating the last page from the rest of the pages. Right. Now, that is all about watermark and then page also. Now, this question here says to equal, apply a recycled paper text file or texture fill as a page background. So also page background, which is the page color, fill effect, there's a texture, and recycle. You look for recycle. Each of them got a name: green marble, white marble. This is a recycled paper, and you click on it. So this is a recycled paper texture as a background. Right, that is all about watermarks. Now, I think we will leave this one for the next, that is Monday, whereby we'll be doing a document layout, and then we'll look at section break. We have already talked about section break. We did it now, whereby you put section breaks, different page numbers, and then proofing. Then we also look at the columns, and then our paragraph multi-level list. We will do that Monday to complete Microsoft Word. Right. So before I end the session, there's no comment, so I'm going to close this session, and then we will continue on Monday. So next week, we will make sure that every day we have a session to revise the practicals for term 1, what you need to know. Monday, we will finish Microsoft Word. Tuesday, we will start database. Latest by Wednesday, we'll be done. Thursday, we will start spreadsheet. And then Saturday, we will be done with spreadsheet. Okay, so that's all for the day. Thank you for attending the session. And thank you, everyone. You'll get the link and you can watch this session again and then practice them at home. Good luck for your various tests or assessments. Thank you for your precious time.